Bloop, bloop.
Testing 1, 2. Mother.
Really? Do you really have? This is how we're really gonna start off this damn podcast by this way. Luckily, we're gonna delete this at the end of the day anyway. So I'm like, damn.
What's going on, everybody? Our new intro to our show, the Jca Sports Podcast, coming to you live on Facebook Live. Soon we'll be on Spotify and the Anchor app. Later on in the week, excuse the lighting. I'm trying to get a good lighting for myself here. I forgot my... Oh, there it goes. I'll probably keep it right here. Whatever. Who knows? I don't know. I'm trying to find a good lighting. Anywho, here we are live. John Conavi, Eric Avila, Jose Contreras, Jonathan Playa, the Jca Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. As you can see, the title of our show bears with a sigh. Frustration is the key word. I guess frustration, upset, anything other than happy, content, fantastic, whatever adjectives you want to give out. Right now, all our emotions are all negative after the embarrassing display from our beloved Chicago Bears, who lost 24-10 in a game where you felt like it wasn't even close. It didn't even feel close, even though the score was 10-3 at halftime. It felt like it was like more than just that. If you guys want to join us on our Blue Jeans app, go right ahead. The link will be provided to you or down in our comments below. Guys, yesterday's performance, is it the worst embarrassing moment in Chicago Bears history under Matt Nagy? Don't rush. Take your time.
I don't remember a lot of his games, and he's been here 2-3 years. So I'm not going to say it's the most embarrassing, but I think this game has been the one game that stands out because there's no more. There should be no more excuses as far as does he have the right quarterback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the quarterback he wanted, and Nick Foles is the one he chose. Like they went out and traded for him so early in the offseason. You know what I mean? Because this was his guy. Mm-hmm. So I think if anything, this was the game that screams, bro, this is yours. Like, this is now you. You know what I'm saying? Like, this loss is your loss. So I mean, that's my take.
All right, to go piggyback off Jose, I don't know if I can call it, the worst in the Nagy era, though it is kind of hard right now off the top of the head to think about another one that may be just as bad as this game.
Easy. Last year's game against the Saints.
Ooh.
You know what? Probably
you blame him or Trubisky for that
Saints
one?
because they had their backup playing.
Oh yeah, that wasn't Trubisky. That was
because the Saints had
Teddy Bridgewater.
The Saints had Bridgewater playing.
Right.
I think that's a little more embarrassing. I feel like at least you can say the Rams were due, or Jared Goff and the Rams were due to go off against the Bears. Compared to his prior two meetings, he hadn't thrown a touchdown. I believe it was 5 interceptions against the Bears, and it wasn't pretty, his stat line against the Bears. But but it definitely was an embarrassing loss. It definitely was, especially because we're 5-1. If we won, we'd be on top in the NFC North or the NFC, and we would have got some major respect. Where it's like now we look like frauds. Like a team with 5 wins, they got frauds.
If we haven't looked like frauds before, we definitely do now.
That's right. That's where I was heading. I think the Bears look like I've been saying weeks before. They look like that one new game that's been coming up about who's the imposter, and I forget the name of the game, but there's one imposter here. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, and it's I hate when I'm right negatively about my team, about how we just been frauds this whole entire time, how we just never looked up to par.
Wait, whoa, Eric.
Well,
after the first loss, I was out here screaming, Nick Foles wasn't the guy. I was screaming this team isn't going to win a championship, and you were the one person who was like, "Oh my God, give it a chance. Let's wait. Let's give it some more games." And blah blah
Exactly.
blah.
No,
And
yes,
blah
I
blah
understand
blah.
that.
So how you
And
gonna say
I
this
get
whole time you were right?
the
This whole time
simple
I was right.
this whole time but we always had that negative feel behind it though. Like we all three of us knew that he wasn't the answer. We all knew that Foles wasn't the answer. We all wanted Mitch to succeed. Mitch failed. We knew that once it came to Foles, it was hit or miss. And right now it's a huge miss.
Right
Right.
now, it's a huge miss. It's a
Right.
huge
And
miss.
now we're saying here that what is there, now that Nagy has his quarterback, now that Nagy has his offense to run, his offense probably looks as bad with his quarterback than when he didn't have his quarterback that he wanted in Mitch. You know what I mean? And it's just
Mhm.
it's just like it just looks like we went from the worst quarterback and we made excuses for the coach to okay, now we're questioning whether if it was a coach or whether if it was a quarterback. I'm still saying it's both because I've been saying for weeks, even after we were going on that run, that I'm getting that Mitchell Trubisky vibe from Matt Nagy from the last couple games in the week. Even though we're coming back and winning, and even though we're barely hanging on to some games and stuff like that, I've been saying that I'm getting these Mitchell Trubisky vibes from Matt Nagy, and yesterday proved to me that Nagy is the Mitchell Trubisky of coaching. That Matt Nagy's a fraud. Basically, he got
I
his,
don't think he's.
he got his shine in 7 games with the Chiefs.
I don't think he's a fraud.
No, I honestly believe like
I think he's a victim of the Bears not investing in offense.
He's a victim. He's a victim.
I mean, because think about it. If you're in his position, what guy isn't going to take the coaching job? Regardless, you can know the offense is trash. Who's not going to go take that head coaching job?
But you're making Eric's point because which quarterback who gets drafted in the second pick of a draft is not going to go, is not going to be like, oh no, you know what, guys, I suck. I can't fulfill this, this job that you guys want me to do. That's why he says it's the Mitch Trubisky. It's the same thing. I get where Eric's coming from, but at the same time, I don't blame Matt Nagy.
No, but
I don't blame Trubisky.
I
don't blame Brian
think the
Pace.
offense works better with Mitch than it does with Foles. At least Matt Nagy's offense.
I think yesterday we would have. I think yesterday, and I was telling Eric, I think yesterday would have benefited the Bears if they would have brought Mitch in because
they should have brought him in.
Foles was too stiff in the pocket.
Foles, he isn't mobile. Look, the thing is, the Bears have never had an O-line. The O-line definitely got exposed because the Rams have a great defensive front. Like, I mean, not many teams can stop Aaron Donald.
The O-line has been exposed for weeks.
For years. Let's go with that. The years.
Years.
That's what I'm saying. We've never invested in an O-line. Never. And it's like
when we did
switching to Foles. I think switching to Foles with the O-line not being fixed just shows even more how bad the O-line is because you don't have a mobile quarterback that can escape, a sack, extend the plays, and throw on the run. Yes, Mitch wasn't accurate, but I mean, last night Foles couldn't even be accurate.
No,
but the crazy thing is despite how ugly the game was, there are some moments where like, if we would just like hit that throw, it just would have lit a spark under the Bears, and we could have came back, bro.
We know what throws you're talking about.
Even what I can't think of it. It was a penalty call back on 4th and 1.
Yeah,
the second quarter, third quarter.
On the second quarter on Coward, when they were 4th and 1, trying to go for the 4th down, going for it, and they get called back for a false start.
For a false start, that killed us, bro. And then the what is it, Mooney? The Mooney pass, it would have been like a 90-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But like those two plays, bro. Like, don't get me wrong. From the start of the game, it literally felt like because the refs, had some bad calls. It literally felt like this is gonna be the game where everything's gonna go against the Bears. Everything, like the refs, the opponent, themselves. It just had that vibe from the jump. That might be just me, but I literally started feeling like, man, if we can somehow win this game, we're gonna have to squeak by because it literally felt like everything was going against us and wasn't gonna get better.
Yeah, this is the John Conavi Sports Podcast coming to you live from Facebook Live. Edited version will be coming up on Spotify and Anchor throughout the week. I posted up a question up on Facebook. Was this the most embarrassing loss in Matt Nagy or in Nagy's tenure? Duffman comes on saying the game as a whole was horrible. The offense did not show up. The O-line was weak. Nick was our expensive backup plan, and nothing. Defense was off. The Rams embarrassed them. Why didn't Mitch come in when he was playing bad? They pulled them. They pulled them. Why wasn't the same plan execute on him? And the entire coaching staff should be ashamed of themselves. Period. I
agree with that. Why wasn't Mitch pulled as
Exactly. Mitch should have been at least part of the
Nick Foles pulled as much as fast as Mitch? But let me tell you why I think. Let me tell you why I think why. Because Matt Nagy didn't want to expose himself, or at least Matt Nagy didn't want to second guess himself, or that's not the word I'm looking for. Matt Nagy didn't want.
He doesn't want to be exposed as a fraud.
Not even that.
He doesn't want to go back on his decision of pull Mitch and bring in Foles.
Yeah.
But to be honest, though, that can honestly be above Nagy too.
Mm-hmm.
That could be on pace too. Because we're paying Foles all this money. How are you gonna pull him out after his fourth start with the team in the season, and then next week's a question mark? But honestly, at this point, you should just ride the hot hand. I don't care if you let both of them play. Start one half and start the other one the second half.
No, you can't
Depending
do
on how
that.
they're
No,
playing,
you
man.
can't do that. That just comes out. That's inconsistent. That's inconsistent to the finest. And if anything, if we were
gonna have games like last night, and you're gonna be like, why didn't you bring in Mitch? Why didn't you bring in Foles?
But we're a professional team. We have to have some consistency. This is not high school. This is not college where you can do stuff like that. You got to have some type of consistency. And already we're being known as frauds. Like last week, you guys were talking about national attention. Why the Bears aren't there? Why the Bears aren't there? Why the Bears aren't there? Well, yesterday was proven why the Bears aren't there. Yesterday was proven that they cannot compete with so-called the big boys of the NFL. Granted, the Rams are not as big as they once were,
I'm gonna say Foles can't compete with the big boys.
Neither can Mitch. So
he's done it before.
We're in square one.
John, don't do that. Don't do that, John. Don't do that, John.
No,
he's done it. You guys are saying, hey,
John,
if he would have,
one of them got a Super Bowl ring. One of them got Super Bowl MVP. The other can barely.
And what's he doing? He's crapping the bed. I told you, Foles is equivalent to Joe Flacco. He's proven my point.
Nah, man, don't do that.
No,
he's terrible.
He's terrible. He had two.
He's hot garbage.
The two interceptions were basically Mitch-esque in throwing those interceptions from Nick Foles. Where he's supposed to be the smartest quarterback. He's supposed to know what he's doing, and he threw them both into double coverage, and they just look bad. Literally, overall, it was just an overall bad game, from top to bottom, from coaching. Nagy got out coached. Nagy got outplayed. The defense was on too much. What made them expose them how long they were on there, and they couldn't do as much. Special teams got a blocked field goal where you gave us some type of little momentum. Eddie Jackson came up big, and the defense, and Robert Quinn with the strip sack or the strip tackle where Eddie Jackson came back and scored the touchdown. Guys, we got 3 points from the offense and 7 points from the defense. Guys, this looks 2018 all over again, except with the more expensive quarterback paying the big bucks before we traded for it. And it's just it's sad to say that the guys no matter how we look at it, whether if it was Mitchell or with Foles, no matter how we look at it, if they both somehow, some way started to fail, we're back at square one and having no quarterback. As simple as that. We all three of us said it.
Right. But to be honest with you,
what we really wanted, and yes, I agree. What we really wanted was Mitch to succeed. That's what we all agreed on. We wanted Mitch to succeed. I had my doubts that he couldn't succeed because of what I've been seeing for the past 3 years, 2, 3, 4 years, but I still wanted the guys to succeed because, hell, at the end of the day, he's our quarterback. We can't, no ands, ifs, and buts about it, right? I knew Foles would probably be a little bit better than Mitch, just a tad bit better. He's just a tad bit better, but the results are still the same. And now you're questioning Matt Nagy and his offensive schemes and what he's trying to do. If you go back to the Facebook comments, but Duffman continues saying, but that's the whole point of having 2 or 3 quarterbacks. Every team has that. That is why they are signed on for. At the same time, who cares what the critics think? Do you want them to win? or make the critics happy. Winning is more important. Doesn't matter if It doesn't matter if you have to switch quarterbacks game to game. They have the same playbook. So what you got to do to get the W? But it just
Want that dub.
shows the inconsistency.
Okay, but we have inconsistent quarterback. Look, okay, to go off your point, you said we're questioning. You say we're questioning Matt Nagy, but of course we all know Eric considers Mitch the bottom of the barrel, and Foles is slightly above him. Then it's like, how can you put Nagy on the hot seat if you don't give him no decent QBs? You don't give him a decent O-line. So how can you come at Nagy? Like, think about it.
Easy.
Mitch was Nagy's sheepgoat, so why can't Foles be the sheepgoat?
Here's the thing.
Or the scapegoat, I'm sorry. Because Foles isn't that good. He's never had been. That's why he doesn't stick with a team long term. So it's like,
neither is Trubisky. Trubisky isn't good either.
exactly. So if to Eric's point, if before it was Mitch's fault, not Nagy's, why is it now not Foles' fault and you're blaming Nagy?
Because
No,
at the
it's
end of
both.
the day,
I'm blaming both.
No, but before
The
everybody
reason
said it's
why
Mitch's
we're
fault.
putting more
I said
pressure on
it's
Nagy.
overall.
So here's the reason why we're putting more pressure on Nagy is because before everyone kept saying, oh, he didn't have the quarterback he wanted. He didn't have the quarterback. Okay, now he does. And that quarterback is a fraud just as much as Mitch is. So now you're like, okay, so not only does the quarterback suck, but now we're starting to realize our coach sucks too.
Man,
So
what's
it's
good? You came
But
into
how
this-
can you say he sucks when the team you give him sucks, bro?
Bro.
Give him a good team and he can do good.
You find a way. Coaches make the players better. Coaches find a way to coach the players better. You have what you get, and you got.
Someone
I
like
get.
Foles,
I
he's
get
got
it.
9
Look,
years in the league. If he hasn't changed, he's not going to change now.
Granted, yes, the offensive line. All we got was Cody Whitehair and James Daniel, and unfortunately, James Daniel is hurt and is gone for the whole entire season. Bobby Massey had one great year. You gave him the money, and you got what you got. You got Fetty off the streets, and you got Charles Leno's you drafted late in the draft, and you gave him the money, and he's been hot garbage ever since. Right? How long was your best Pro Bowler guard that you had? He decided to retire, and
he was injury prone. He couldn't even last a full year.
Even if he was injury prone, he's still a Pro Bowl caliber guard. No matter what you think about it, he's been there in the trenches. Everybody looked up to him. He was the leader of the offensive line. Now he's gone. Now you have either James Daniel, who's your youngest one, who's your youngest offensive line. You can have him for 12, 15 years, and if he's healthy, then he could be your center or your guard of the future. And you got Cody Whitehair, who's doing I guess you could say he's a pretty good damn job, right? At the end of the day, the offensive line isn't working for some odd reason. Who knows? Is it the weak link of the offense? Yes. It doesn't get the running game going. It barely helps on the passing game. Both quarterbacks look like trash, even though one has the Super Bowl MVP behind them, but they both look like trash. And yet, you're an offensive guru knowing what all these mistakes, but for somehow, some way, you get Cordero Patterson in the backfield running 7 yards east instead of going 1 yard south. You know, you're in the red zone and you take out Allen Robinson, Jimmy Graham, Cole Kmet, you leave Harris, you have Miller, you have Mooney, and you have speed guys, but your best
bigger guys.
But you have bigger guys and you take them out for what? And then you get the pick, right?
For real.
You see, what I don't understand is how much either Nagy doesn't want to give the liberty for the quarterbacks to grasp and take a hold and see what they got, and it's his way or no way. You know, his ego gets in the way, or let's just be honest, we all suck. like I don't know what else to say. Like we're here, you know, bitching and moaning. We're here bitching and moaning about one game that's on national television.
Language, sir.
National television. And I think that's what's the damning part of it all. It's
Go ahead, Eric.
It's national television, and we look like hot doo-doo. We look like the Washington football team. We look like the Dallas Cowboys. We look like the Cincinnati Bungles. You know, we look like the old Cleveland Browns. We look that bad with a record.
No, we're
on
terrible.
national television.
We're terrible.
on national television. And again, I'm harping. You guys want them to have national, give them some respect. And when it's time for the respect to come up, they crack. You have 3 points for 3 quarters, and then your defense comes up with 7. It's like
But that's been the Bears the last 2 years.
And then we get Nagy to have this, to be this offensive genius, and I feel like he wants to oversmart the whole entire building and makes himself look dumb.
I think he is trying to do a little too much. Like, I think he's trying to overthink it, you know? Like
a little.
Like a lot. Like, I think how do I say? Like, he's trying to be like, okay, so they're gonna think I'm gonna do this, but they're probably try to think that I'm gonna do something else. So let me stick with that. You know what I'm saying? As far as but I sort of like I'm not one to say fire Nagy. I do think he does need to at least give up play calling at least one game to see if there's a difference. Cordell Patterson just needs to stop. He's not a running back, bro. Stop using him, please. It's terrible, but
I don't think you give up play calling for one day. It's just like the Nick Foles Mitchell Trubisky situation. You bench Mitchell Trubisky and you ride Foles for the rest of the year. You give up play calling. You don't give up play calling for one game. You give up play calling for the rest of the year.
I don't know, man. I don't agree. I don't
know about for the rest of the year though, because then it's like what Duffman said. You gotta do what you gotta do to win. If Foles is playing like trash, then bench him and bring in Mitch.
I'll tell you what. Hold on. If Foles has another game like that, and it's this next game against the Saints we go against next?
Yep.
Yeah, the Saints.
If he craps the bed like he did this last game, you bring Mitch in. I don't care.
But you know what? Look, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Then the season's over.
Don't have a good defense. Then the season's over. Then that's why you bench him and bench him and put the next guy in. Ride the hot hand every game.
Eric, if they continue to play the way they play, the season's over regardless, bro. Might as well see what Mitch can do for you.
No, might as well what you have in Tyler Bray. What the hell? You already know what you got in Mitch. You already know what you got in Foles. You might as well bring in Tyler Bray, bro. That's the best option.
You're saying this because you're a hater.
What's the whole point?
You're saying because you hate Mitch, bro.
There's no point of bringing him. We've seen Mitch for the last 3 years. We can see that Matt Nagy can't run an offense.
Right.
Foles is like hot doo-doo, so we already know what we got. Might as well just bring Tyler Bray and call it a year. Might as well start trading.
Wait.
Might as well give up Khalil Mack. Trade up Khalil Mack.
Come on, let Jose get some time, bro. Come on, let Jose get some screen time. Come on, bro.
Oh my God, bro. Look, hold on. What do we need in order to succeed? Wins, W's, right? I get
a quarterback.
No, wait. Listen to me.
An offensive line.
Wait, coach.
No, in order to get to the playoffs, you need wins.
Wide receivers.
You need wins in order to get to the playoffs.
Now you admit we need wide receivers.
A running game.
Bro, shut up. We need wins, right? We need wins. Look at Mitch's win-loss record. Although I know it's all not because of him, but when he's under center, we win games.
My boy, hey, give him the facts, Jose. Give him the facts, baby.
We win. Wait.
You don't want to hear him.
I get it. He's not. A lot of the wins isn't because of Mitchell Trubisky himself, but he has a better win-loss record than Nick Foles under Matt Nagy's offense, and which is why maybe, just maybe, he's better suited than Nick Foles is right now. And although I know Mitchell Trubisky is not a good quarterback, I know he's just consistent. Maybe we have a better chance with him than we do with Nick Foles, and that's all I'm saying.
We have no shot with either quarterback as long as Matt Nagy calls the plays.
We have more of a shot with Mitch than Foles at this point.
We have no shot with either quarterback if Nagy keeps calling the plays.
So how much blame do you put on Foles?
About a good 60%.
And the other 40 is on Nagy?
And the other 40, actually, how about this? I'll put 90% blame on the organization, the other 10% on the players.
Okay, when Mitch was in it, but when Mitch was in the game, how much blame do you put on Mitch? How much blame do you put on Mitch?
It's easy. 80% because he's hot garbage.
You put 120 on Mitch, bro. Stop.
How you not
like I said, the Bears never invested in offense, dude.
Mitch is garbage. Guys.
And Foles is hot garbage. I've been telling you, Foles is fool's gold, bro.
At a five-star restaurant, we had a nice T-bone steak. on the platter. That's what you well known. That's what you got with Deshaun Watson, and we got little kids happy meal Tuesdays.
Bro,
from that
Deshaun
play.
Watson wouldn't do anything with this O line
Bro,
wide receivers.
Deshaun Watson.
Hop off
would
the
have a
Deshaun
better
Watson
team.
train,
Oh
bro.
my
We're not
Jesus.
gonna we're tired of hearing
Which
Watson
is
every
not-
podcast, dude.
Hold on, John. Hold on. Before we get to that discussion, before we get there, Eric, how do you not put blame on the organization that drafted Mitch more than you put it on Mitch?
I put 90% on this organization and the 10% on the players. Overall, it's the organization's fault
Right.
for drafting Mitchell
So when I
Trubisky.
asked you
It's the
about Mitch, you
organization's
put
fault.
80%.
It's the organization's fault for drafting Kevin White. It's the organization's fault for drafting Leonard Floyd. It's the organization's fault for drafting Adam Shaheen. It's the organization's fault for finding Eddie Jackson, or not Eddie Jackson. I'm sorry, for finding other players that haven't for having not coming through. Like Mitchell Trubisky, second round, you had Deshaun Watson, you go Mitchell Trubisky because of potentially be
Right.
and I can't say that word.
In the words of Michael Perez, Mitch the true Trubisky, sir.
And overall, the only thing you have done, you got Adrian Amos, who you couldn't keep because of financial reasons, who was a good player. You got lucky by getting Eddie Jackson in the 4th round, who was a potential first rounder. You got lucky, not lucky, but you were smart enough to get Khalil Mack in the trade but you gave up draft capital and not beefing up your O-line. You got lucky getting James Daniels in the 2nd round. You got lucky getting Cody Whitehair in the 3rd. You got lucky getting Tyreek Cohen, who was just a one-hit wonder his rookie year. You basically hit in small potentials, but the biggest ones, your Leonard Floyds, your Kevin Whites, your Mitchell Trubisky's, your first 3 rounders, and I feel like I'm forgetting Roquan Smith, but so he's being actually a decent player.
Hold on, Floyd did his thing last night.
Your first round picks have been hot doo-doo. And then when you have draft capital, you trade up to get Kevin White, you trade up to get Mitchell Trubisky, you trade up to get Leonard Floyd, and that goes your draft capital right there. That last year your first pick was in the middle of the 2nd round, and you got Cole Kmet, and then 5 picks later you got Johnson.
So basically,
but the last guys haven't been bad picks.
And I get it, and I understand. And I understand. Like, the organization has failed. This regime has failed the Bears organization 90% of the time. The other 10% come from the players, because at the end of the day, the players have to perform.
Okay. So if it's 10% to the players, how much of the percentage goes to the quarterback and how much goes to the O-line?
Why don't you say the offense and the defense, and that's easy. 99% of the offense, 1% on the defense. You can't.
No, because when Mitch was playing, the whole blame was put on Mitch. But now that it's not Mitch under center, you want to share the blame against everybody now.
If you can't throw a 3-yard pass across,
mom and dad too.
When he's wide open, if you underthrow a guy who's wide open 3 yards.
Okay, and what did Foles do yesterday? Foles had plenty of time, bro.
If you can't throw long distance when you have time in the world, how the hell are you gonna miss that player?
Okay, and the same thing could be said.
It's literally the same. It's the same concept, but with 2 different type of players. You have no offensive protection. Great. At least one will be able to move out of the pocket, and when he moves out of the pocket, he's still hot garbage.
No, he's better. He's better when he's on the run.
He's better on the run.
He's
better on the run, bro.
He still underthrows his receivers. Hold on.
We got some comments on Facebook you need to respond to.
Get to the comments. Eric's on some BS right now.
Hell no. You guys just want to hear what you guys want to hear, and when it comes with the truth,
no, you want to hear what you want to hear. You want us to say, "What did you get on to?" Blah blah blah.
It's the complete opposite.
Deshaun Watson wouldn't do nothing in Chicago, bro.
Wait, Eric. I know you did not just say what you just said. Whenever we talk about Mitchell Trubisky, bro, you put all the blame on him like he's the devil or something, bro. Like he's the worst person in the
because he is the worst quarterback, and there's backup quarterbacks
all the blame
who
on
have
him
better
when his coach sucks. You can't put all the blame on him when his coach sucks and the team around him is garbage. Just like, because again, Johnson's right. Foles is out there. Mitchell Trubisky hasn't played in 3 games. Foles is out there, and then what? You're putting the blame on Nagy. You're putting the blame on the O-line. You're putting the blame on Cohen. You're putting the blame on Patterson. I haven't once heard you say anything about Foles. Not one time. And he's the quarterback.
You didn't hear when I said when he threw those 2 picks that were garbage? You didn't hear me
Right.
when he.
No. When you said he
but
threw
it
those two
was
picks,
all
you were
right,
like,
so
those
there
are
we
Mitch
go.
But you were
S
blaming Nagy.
picks.
You were blaming Nagy for that.
No. When he
No.
mentioned the two picks, he compared it to Mitch S throws. He still brings up Mitch every
Because
time.
it's true.
No,
Because it's
bro.
true.
Oh,
Because
Look,
it's
man.
true. Look,
Look.
we have two garbage ass quarterbacks.
why can't it be a Jameis
We got
Winston
two bad
pick?
quarterbacks. We got two bad quarterbacks. Nagy finally got his guy that he wanted to bring in, and at the end of the day, he's starting to fail. Why? Because now Nagy doesn't have that scapegoat and Mitchell Trubisky to blame. Now
But
he's
why
looking
can't
bad.
Foles be the
now,
scapegoat?
now,
Foles
now,
is trash.
now Nagy's looking like a fraud because he can't call a good game because now there's all this other type of things with it. At the end of the day, then what the hell you're here for? You're
But
supposed to be
like I
you're
said,
supposed
bro,
to be,
who's
you're
going
supposed
to
to
turn
be
down
an
a head
offense.
coaching job?
You're supposed to
Regardless
be
if
an
the front
offensive
office does
genius.
not invest in an O-line for you, who's going to turn down a head coaching job knowing that the O-line sucks? It's like you, bro. You wouldn't take over a store knowing that the team they have there sucks. You're going to be like, I'm going to take on that challenge and try to change that store around. Knowing everybody there sucks, you're still going to take the job. And then if they don't perform, yes, you get blamed for it. But when you leave that job and go interview for your next job, you're going to put the blame on the team you got.
But at the end, you're supposed when you have that opportunity to change it around and you failed, then you basically
But how can you change it
didn't do
around when
nothing.
they only invest in defense?
Here's the thing, though. Players play no matter what. Players have to play at the end of the day, right? Foles has been in the league for I don't know how many years, almost 10 years in the league, right? He knows this system. He knows that he can audible. He knows he can do
He's
certain
supposed
things.
to know.
Right, he's supposed to know, right? I think there's even a quote that John you posted saying that sometimes Matt Nagy gives him the plays and he thinks he knows it's the wrong play. All right, well then switch it up.
Well, he said that, but then he denied it in the post game
Right, I get
interview
that.
yesterday.
I get that. But at the same
Instead
time,
of taken out of
at
context.
the same time, either way, I'm pretty sure he knows some certain plays aren't going to work. Then change it up, bro. You're a player.
Call
you're
it
a
audible, exactly.
Right, you're a quarterback. And then, like I said, like we said, those garbage ass interceptions. Like, come on, man. You know better than that, bro. Like you know not to throw in double coverage, triple coverage, especially in the end zone. You don't have Jimmy Graham in the end zone. You have Mooney, but you want to throw double coverage. Like, what the hell is that?
But Jimmy Graham should have been in the end zone. I forgot
right.
what it was that he
That
got
you blame
taken
Nagy
out.
for. But
That you
blame
can blame
Nagy
Nagy on.
but you're here, and that's the situation you're in. Don't throw it if you know it's not going to do anything. Like
Right.
come on, man. You're not Aaron Rodgers where you could just throw it in.
Everybody else would throw the ball away.
Right. Throw it away.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Doesn't
those two decisions were bad. Like those were bad decisions from Nick Foles, and you have to put the blame on somebody when something like that happens, right? There was other plays too as well. I mean, again, I get it. I don't know if Foles doesn't want to audible for some odd reason. I don't know if he has a game plan on making Nagy look bad. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But the moment you see Cordell Patterson in the backfield, why hand it off?
For real, man. Crazy.
Like that,
you know better.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
No,
I don't
with the game
understand
on the fourth and one, it shouldn't be going to Patterson at all.
I'm telling you guys this. Like Nagy doesn't have football common sense. I think he wants to outsmart everybody in that building. That he sometimes makes himself look dumb. Like I think it was right before halftime where there was like 30-some seconds left. And what was I screaming at the television, Jose?
Call a timeout.
Call a timeout.
Oh yeah,
Call a
so they
timeout.
can punt the ball.
Right. What's the worst that can happen? You lose 10 seconds, you get the ball. What happens? You probably
You lose a timeout, you're never gonna get back. So what does it matter? You start over in the next half. It's like just use it. You know what I mean?
Right. You're not gonna get the ball next quarter. So if you
Even the announcers mentioned that. They
right.
mentioned you should
even
make
if
them punt the ball.
The worst case scenario is the super worst case scenario is you throw on the first play and it's incomplete or something. Right? Best case scenario, the best thing you could get out of it is a field. Instead of being 10-3, it'll be 10-6. You have some type of momentum.
Hold up. We got Duffman active in the chats on Facebook.
Right, come on, Eric, go to the chat.
Read them off, Eric.
Oh, all right. Let me go to the chat. I don't even know where to start. All right. Big size is the Jca Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. You can follow us on Facebook Live. Spotify, Anchor will be the edit version. You can listen to us later. I'm still trying to think. I don't know if I read this or not. Yes, I did. Okay. It could look as inconsistent, but at the same time, these teams won't know who to prepare for, which is the reason why having two quarterbacks coming in and out would be a bad idea. Mario also says play calling was bad. That reflects on Nagy. There is weapons on this offense, but I say this over and over and over. I know you guys have heard me say this so many times, and for so many years since Cutler, we need an offensive line. Captain America, Mario keeps on saying Captain America says language. Michael is also active on the Facebook page too as well, saying yes, I've never seen the Bears get out coached like this. The offense never got rolling. They looked lost, and the defense wasn't even set at times and visually looked lost, which is true because that first touchdown that Mike was talking about, that first touchdown from the Rams, like they literally went out with like 6 seconds left, snapped the ball with 2, and still ended up scoring the touchdown, bamboozling the Bears defense, which I think from then on we should have known that it was going to be a long game. I don't know about you guys, but I felt like that's
right. Well, that's what I was saying. It kind of felt like this game's not going our way.
Right.
It wasn't going our way.
You know, Mario's going on saying Mitch is mobile, which is the only good thing about.
Hold on. Don't skip that one comment.
What?
Mitch, the truth, Trubisky.
Hey,
Anyways,
tell him,
Mario goes on. Mario's saying Mitch is mobile, which is about the only good game. The only good thing that Mitch actually has is being mobile. How many times did Foles get stuck? Which is true. Like you could tell, he's a tall guy. He stands in the pocket. He's not that mobile. So I'll give him that. That's probably
Mitch would have rolled out. He would have ducked Aaron Donald through.
He would have juked a couple more.
Right.
Right. Or he would probably just ran to another defender and get sacked.
Chill. He's not Mark Sanchez. Chill out.
Yeah.
The Bears have failed.
Hurdle Aaron Donald, to be honest.
All right, you guys are giving him way too much credit.
What's his name? The guy that was on our team last year that balled out yesterday.
Yeah, that's too much credit. Way too much credit. Anywho, the Bears have failed every quarterback since in the past 30 years, since '85. How many times have the Bears had an elite offense? I think that 1 year with Cutler, with Mark Trestman, I think they were ranked.
Jay Cutler's my buddy. We went like 10-6.
That one year with Trestman. I think like the first year they ranked.
There's one year we started off 5-0 with them.
The only
Cutler.
year we were good with Trestman.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They ranked second in offense the whole year. It was crazy.
This is what Mario says, and I think this is what's been the consistent from us at least a little bit throughout today. Bring in Watson, Brady, Cam, Breeze, Ryan, any quarterback under center. But again, for the 220th time, no offensive line.
Hey, I see what he did there. 220th time. I see that.
Right. And sadly, to defend the defense, the only reason why they fall is because they are too tired. Which is true. They're on the field more than the offense 65% of the time.
Yeah.
I think Mario's also commenting about your baby girl in the background crying, I guess, from us screaming.
Mm-hmm.
I put the blame.
Kids.
Duffman says he puts the blame on COVID. Duffman also says you get blamed, but you get paid.
He's talking about the head coach when you take a head coaching job.
Uh-huh.
Team sucks, you still get paid.
Right. What was it? John Fox, his last year.
Oh gosh.
And Mario just keeps on going, saying that he did have Jimmy Johnson in the end zone in the fourth quarter and got sacked. The game plan was
Jimmy
Jimmy Graham. Sorry. My bad. Jimmy Graham in the end zone for the fourth quarter got sacked. The game plan was crystal clear, and the Rams knew every play. Basically, gives Sean
McVay, give him his props. He outcoached Matt Nagy.
Eric, he cut out. Eric, your mic's off.
That's probably a good thing because we're tired of hearing his BS. His lies about Mitchell Trubisky. Eric, we can't hear you, buddy. Yo, Eric, we can't hear you. Anyways.
My bad.
Bro.
No, it's okay.
Somebody was calling me. Sorry. I apologize.
It was
the game plan was crystal clear. So basically, guys, if you want to join us in the Blue Jeans app, go ahead and join us. The link is on the comment section right there to join us too as well. This is Jca Sports Podcast, commercial free. Talking about the Bears. The Bears lost yesterday on national TV, 24-10. We start off the show. Was this the bad? Was this the worst loss under Matt Nagy's tenure? John, you guys said no. I'm leaning more towards yes because of how badly they played. It's a frustrating feeling knowing that we can't get nothing right offensively.
It feels like we lost more than 14 points.
Right.
It feels like we lost
right.
14.
Which is true.
It feels like we got 50 piece.
Again, like we got 50-piece back-to-back that final year of Trestman against the
Oh,
Packers
Jesus
and the
Christ.
Patriots. It's just it's frustrating.
It is,
It's
and I feel like it's. So I've been seeing a lot of people on Facebook groups and Twitter saying Nagy should be fired, and I think that's an overreaction. What do you guys think?
No, Pace first, Pace, then Nagy. Pace needs to go first because Pace is the one who drafted Trubisky. Pace is the one who has the inconsistent track record of drafting these garbage ass players. Pace is the one who picked Matt Nagy. Obviously, the ownership isn't going to fire themselves. Otherwise, I will say ownership, but they're not going to get rid of the team. They have to get rid of the GM.
No.
They have to get a new GM to come in, and the new GM has to come and get his coach, and then they have to get their players together, and that's how it works. But Pace is the one who needs to get fired
I
first.
feel like if the Bears manage to make the playoffs this year, it saves Pace's job.
That's gonna say if anything Nagy more than Pace. But Pace needs to go.
No, Nagy's gonna stay because like you just said, you gotta fire the GM first.
Right.
Because Nagy has Mitch and Foles to blame. And then, I mean, come on, the ownership aren't dumb. They know the O-line's trash.
Right, but that's also that all falls under Pace. Why aren't you getting
right? So that's why Pace.
That's
why I think. But if the Bears make the playoffs, then it saves his job this year or for next year.
It's easy. It's pretty much easy. Where why have you have so much success in drafting O-line players when you give up draft picks to draft Kevin White? When you give up draft picks to draft Leonard Floyd, when you give up draft picks to draft Mitchell Trubisky, when you give up draft picks, obviously you got Khalil Mack, which was a good thing, but you ended up giving more than what you were supposed to, right? And you get back, obviously you get an all-pro linebacker, but you get back squash. Like you don't get good talent out of it. Like you failed to realize that. Like,
but to be fair, it's not like the Raiders got major talent off the picks they got from Mack.
True, but at the same time, they're more of a cohesive unit.
Yeah, you're better off right now than the Bears are.
We desperately needed Mack, and the minute we got Mack, it changed our 2018.
No, it definitely did. No, it definitely did.
That's why I don't think it's fair to say he gave up too much for Mack.
Hold on, but you see the disparity between the two teams, right? We got the better end of the deal by getting Mack, but their GM, their coaching staff is a lot better for getting those picks because they know what they're doing in the draft board. They know what they're doing in the draft and get free agencies.
Right.
Right now, it looks like
but the thing is, though, I mean, are they really that good? The Raiders haven't even been in the playoffs since we've made the Mack trade. So are they really winning? Are they really better than us?
If you look at the Bears' future and the Raiders' future, which one would you rather have right now?
Well, considering they got Gruden locked up for like 8 more years.
They got and with their quarterback Derek Carr, you want to pick them because
like 2 years ago, Derek Carr was a walking meme because he was crying and he got sacked. Derek Carr's not a franchise quarterback.
No, but
Derek Carr's garbage too.
But he's better. He's better than the two quarterbacks we got.
He's still better than the two quarterbacks we got now.
He'd still be trash here.
He's still better than the quarterbacks we have
done
now.
is they have a better O-line than the Bears do, which is why Josh Jacobs.
You would rather have Gruden than you would Nagy. You would rather have. No,
I'd rather have their O-line. I don't want Gruden. Give me their O-line.
But
that's literally all I want here, bro. Is an O-line. Look at every great quarterback in the league.
But who assembled that team? Their GM. Their GM assembled that team. That's what I'm saying.
But we're talking about since the Mack trade, though.
Right. The Raiders have been more. The Raiders knew what they were doing. The Raiders knew what they were going to do. They let go of Khalil Mack because they were going to get this new stadium in Las Vegas.
It was Gruden that got rid of Mack.
They did what they needed to do, and honestly, their future is more brighter. Why? Because they consistently upgraded in the draft. They got Josh Jacobs. They got offensive linemen. They got a few weapons. They got Ruggs. They obviously that wasn't part of the Mack trade, but they also they got complementary players to go along with this team to help them, and they're in a better spot now. We knew they were going to be trash. The reason why they traded Mack was because they knew they were going to be trash. So cool, great. Let us be trash. Let's get what we could get for our all-pro, future Hall of Famer, defensive end in Khalil Mack, linebacker, whatever position you want to call him.
Right, but you guys are saying he gave up too much for Mack.
Get them all that. Let's give up what we can. Let's be garbage.
John, He's not saying that. He's
that's
saying
literally what
no.
Eric said. We gave up
He's
too
not
much for
saying we gave
Mac.
up too much for Mac. What he's saying is
That's
that
literally
what
what
they
he
did.
said, bro.
No, he's saying what they did with those picks what they did with those picks have been more consistent, have been a lot better than what we did since
Right.
getting Mac. That's what he's saying.
Right.
What the Raiders did with those picks from trading Mac, what they did with those picks have been significantly better for them than what we did. Because right now
Right.
we have a garbage ass quarterback,
Because
coach.
right.
I
Because
don't
with
think
those,
so. I don't think so. Mac is the key essential to why the Bears have hope.
we understand that. I'm not saying that.
And he's locked in for what, another 5 years?
I understand that. I'm not
Next year we
arguing
can have
that.
a
Like
brand new QB, and it's a different game.
I would do that trade 11 times out of 10, and I won't even second guess it. Getting Khalil Mack to get an all pro linebacker coming to this team. But I'm just saying though, even with the lack of picks that we got, even with the lack of picks that we had, whether we're trading away from all the other players, Khalil Mack trading for Khalil Mack, trading up to get White, Floyd, Mitch, and David Montgomery, and whoever else we traded up to get in these drafts, like the Bears have literally done nothing with the rest of the picks that they got. What I'm saying is the Raiders got value from the Mack trade because they made their team more consistent. Although they were trash for 3-4 years, now in today with all those picks of being a cohesive unit, coming at one with John Gruden, with everybody else in this, what they got from the draft, they're 3-3. But I bet you their future is a lot more better than ours. We're 4-2 or 5-2, whatever the record is.
So when you say future, you're talking about this year?
This year, next year, the year after.
No, you're not going to tell me the Raiders are going to have a better record than the Bears this year.
I'm not saying that
You can't. It's apples and oranges because they're in a division with Patrick Mahomes. You can't say that.
But you're literally talking about their success. What is success? Your record. If you make the playoffs.
Right.
I agree with Eric saying we wasted picks, but don't bring up the Mac because that's not a wasted pick. If anything, that's like one good thing that Pace has done right.
Right. I agree. That's the one thing he did right. But what
Okay.
Eric is saying, basically, the point he's trying to make.
Okay, but don't I get his point? He's
trying to make
talking
is the
about
GM.
the future for the
Right,
Raiders.
but he's talking about the GM. No, he's right. Because if you put, I don't know who the GM for the freak is. Is it Gruden?
Mayock. For who?
Mike Mayock. Is that for the Raiders? Yeah, it's Mayock. Okay, that's what he's saying. I would trust Mayock in making future picks for the Raiders than I would Pace, and you would too.
Right.
That's why he's saying they have.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that though.
Right.
I'm arguing that the
that's
Mac
his point.
trade
But that's his
wasn't
point.
bad.
His point is that they're going to be a better
The
team.
Mac trade was
essentially
essential for
regardless.
why the Bears have hope.
Right.
I agree
But
with
that's-
every pick before that, or every wasted pick before Mac. Even it was wrong to give up a draft pick for Foles. I agree with that. That's what I'm saying.
Right. But he's saying that the Raiders are going to have better success under Mayock than what the Bears will have under Pace. That's what he's basically
Well,
saying.
that's because Pace is already on the hot seat. Of course but that's not the discussion
Right.
we're having.
That is the discussion we're having. He's basically
But
saying
this
the Raiders
all started by me
future.
asking you.
He's saying the Raiders will have a better future than the Bears, and you're saying no.
Okay.
But the Raiders will because they're under Mayock. We're under Pace. That's what he's saying.
Okay, but if you guys are saying Pace should get fired within the next 2 years,
right?
Then why don't the Bears have hope?
Right, but that has to happen. That
has to happen. Right.
And what makes you think it's not going to happen? According to you, even if we make the playoffs, Pace's job isn't safe.
Yeah, damn right. He better be out of here. I'm gonna be pissed. He better be.
My
question
in
the
if we make the playoffs, is his job safe or not?
No, so then why
are you arguing that the Raiders have a better future if you anticipate Pace to be gone?
I want Pace out after this season. I don't care if they make the playoffs or anything. I want him out. I don't want him as a GM.
I honestly believe if somehow, some way, the Bears make the playoffs, it goes depending on the performance they have. Like if they're in the playoffs and they get knocked down in the first round, depending how badly they get knocked down in the first round, even making the playoffs won't help Pace and maybe just maybe Nagy. Maybe just maybe. If they miss the playoffs, Pace is gone, and maybe just maybe Nagy might be gone too.
No.
I said maybe. I said maybe. It may not happen. That's why it's a maybe. That's why it's a maybe, right? If somehow, some way, the Bears make the playoffs and they win one game, they're both staying. There's no ands, ifs, and buts about it. They're both staying.
Does Foles stay if we win one game?
Foles stays because of the contract.
He has to with contract, bro.
With the contract, Foles is literally guaranteed
But
here for
okay,
another.
but if you get rid of Nagy and Pace, then I would assume you just start cleaning house. Get rid of Foles.
Right.
You don't
Yep.
re-sign Allen Robinson.
No, this is what happens. If both Matt Nagy and Pace is gone, you have to keep Foles because of contract. He'll just be your backup. You get rid of Mitch because you're not going to pick up that option.
Well, Mitch,
He's
the
not
option's not picked up
regardless.
anyway, so he's going to be
The
gone
option's not
regardless.
picked up already.
That's what I'm saying. It's not picked up anyway, so he's gone, and then Foles is your backup pretty much, and you go look for your quarterback. That's what happens.
I think Foles is your starter. I think we do that Mike Glennon situation all over again.
Which
Depending
is
on what
terrible. That should have never been done.
Right, it should never have been done. But right, because we could have had Deshaun Watson, but that's a whole different story. But
No, nobody gives a fuck about Watson, bro.
it's just a simple fact
He
that
got a losing record right now. Who's talking about him? Nobody.
I'd rather have Watson over anybody right now, bro.
It's
Watson
the
over
stats.
Over
It's the
anybody?
stats. I don't care about the record,
Anybody?
it's the stats.
over anybody on this Bears team.
Okay,
team.
okay, that's better.
Over everybody on this Bears team.
Again,
You know how I feel about Patrick Mahomes, man. Come on.
Okay, and back to what Duff I said earlier, Watson will not perform on this team because we have no
That's
O-line.
bullshit.
He has no protection. He'd probably
That's
break
BS.
his leg again.
That's BS, and you and
That's
Duffman
BS.
both know it. That's BS, and you
No.
both
That's
know it. You
BS.
both know
No, he wouldn't perform here. Why would he if we don't
Would
invest in an
perform.
O-line?
BS. But whatever.
They got like two
Again, that's
seconds
another
to go.
conversation. That's another conversation for another day. Again, where I'm going with this is like if you clean house, you clean house. Big. You trade Mac, you trade. You know your only key players that you keep is probably Eddie Jackson, Roquan Smith, Kyle Fuller, and obviously you stuck with Johnson, which Johnson's a pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I like Johnson as
He's
number
phenomenal. What you
yeah,
mean?
as your number two corner. So at least you got your cornerstone. As for your offense, for your offense, what Montgomery,
Komet.
Cole Kmet, obviously because you're invested in Kmet for another 3-4 years. So you got Montgomery.
That's another thing. I don't know why they stopped feeding him the ball. They used our third string tight end yesterday.
I'm telling you, this is where you blame Nagy. They have two good tight ends that they could use. They can have a 2 tight end set where it's like that's what you use for the red zone, bro. But you don't see that because he wants to get cute and he wants to throw it to freaking
Mooney.
Cordell Patterson
Harris.
Harris, that's his name. Harris.
Give Harris a play package. Give Cordell Patterson 7 yards going east and for 1 yard instead of going south 1.
You could do a 2 tight end set. You have the players for it, man. Like, come on.
This is the Jca Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. Join us on the Blue Jeans app if you want to join the conversation. We go to the Facebook comments. Niam says that Pace is gone, Nagy's gone too. Can't bring in a new GM and not expect him to pick his guy, which is true.
I agree. You fire Pace first. You bring in a new GM, and then they'll go ahead and they'll fire Nagy. You don't. I mean, that's how it should be. Right?
That's how it should be. I mean, Nagy should at least get a discussion with the new GM or a meeting with the new GM.
Well, I mean, hey, they did that with Fox, right? I mean, you might as well. I mean, they were paying Fox all that money.
But Nagy may be able to at least get 1 year with the new GM.
Right. That's what I said. The Fox year. Right?
You would do that would be smart.
But Naeem is
smart
saying Nagy's out too.
Right,
well, I understand that. No, yeah, I get that. And in a way, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be, right?
You know why,
a new GM, new coach, new face, because
right. Do you know why? That way it gives you more of a time to search that perfect candidate for the coaching position.
Right. But obviously, you let go Matt Nagy, you still got to pay the guy. So it's just like you're stuck in that aspect. Unless if Nagy overperforms somehow, some way.
Like, we need to invest in an O-line. That's just it. It don't matter who's on our center if you don't have a damn O-line. Every other great quarterback has.
Okay, John. So let me play devil's advocate.
They can stop and tie their shoes before they make a pass.
All right. So hold on. Let me play devil's advocate. So will Foles be your guy if we had an O-line? Will he be significantly better, or is he just trash like you say he is?
He's trash.
Okay, so it's
Foles go.
Right. So even with the O-line, you wouldn't trust Foles.
I wouldn't trust Foles. No.
So
if we had an O-line, then I'm trading everybody for Watson.
Okay, there you go.
If we had an O-line, I'm trading Mac for Watson right now.
No, not Mac. You need that defensive tag, bro.
Nah,
We
man.
got
I'm
Quinn,
sorry, but you
Akeem
got 2
Hicks.
years left. Mac after this year has 2 years left on that contract, man.
See,
You,
my boy said pull the trigger on that trade. Mac for
it just
Watson straight up. If we had an O line,
Would you, Eric? You would Mac for Watson?
if we had an
Mac.
O line, Eric,
If we had an O line,
the wide
Wait,
receivers we
how many
have
years does
right
Watson
now,
have?
they,
Watson
they
has.
just gave
Well,
him
he signed that new
an
contract.
extension.
Yeah, he signed that
Right.
new
So
contract.
how many years
It
is that?
sucks for him.
So you're getting 5 for 2.
Man, you know
Basically.
what? You right then. I might do that. I might do that trade, bro. Straight up. I might do that trade. That's a good.
Right, you got 5 for 2. So or 5 for 3, whatever it is, or 6 for 3, whatever it
As
is.
long as we don't give up a first round pick. Damn.
Yeah. Right. That, but knowing Pace, he would do that. That's why you want to make sure the other GM makes that trade. Pace will give up and like just for good faith, here goes a second rounder and a third round.
Right? Here
Oh,
you
get
go.
that
So
outta
you
here,
can
man.
tell everybody I'm a nice guy to trade with.
Right, like,
Here's
get
a
out of here,
second
man.
and a third.
What you need?
I'll even throw in a 6 just for
Right.
cracks and giggles.
Man.
Which then, but man.
Which
Naeem
then-
says we had 1 billion tight ends. Throw them in there to chip and get up.
It's
Up
true
to
though. All those tight ends we signed, all the tight ends that we have on our roster, and you only use Jimmy Graham, and rightfully so because he's a beast. But like you could, he'll get more touches if you put another tight end out there with him. I guarantee it.
All I know is I was facing Jimmy Graham yesterday in fantasy football, and there was one part of me where the Bears were in the red zone, I think in the second half, and Jimmy Graham had one-on-one on Jalen Ramsey on the far end, and they somehow, someway got like a 2 or 3 yard rushing yard from David Montgomery, which is fantasy points for me at that time, which was great. But at the time, like, I really didn't care about fantasy points. I really cared more about let's get a score. And you got a guy who's 6'7", 6'8", on a guy who's like 6'1", 6'2",
Bro.
and yet you fail to even look that way. Like, it's just coaching sucks. The offense sucks.
Say hi. Say hi.
Hey, the
Say hi.
offense sucks. It's frustrating where we get embarrassed on national television, and it's just we are where we're at. I've been frustrated in a bad mood all day today. It just yeah.
It is frustrating. It is. Okay, bro, they said hi. But no, also to piggyback off of fantasy points, man, I had a Cooper Cup going, and he didn't do nothing. But it sucks though because the Bears still lost. I wouldn't mind if the Bears won and Cooper Cup didn't do nothing for me. But this, like Eric said, I was in a bad mood all day.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if there's a positive spin to it, I want $100 because
Don't talk about winning $100. My boy John over here hurt, man.
I won 100 because the game ended in a 4, and so 24-0, 24-10.
squares. That's decent.
Bears. Yeah. So this has been the John.
We got to put this loss behind us though.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we got the Saints
Hey,
coming
hold on. We got to preview next game first, Eric. We got to preview next game first before we go.
I did mention to you guys the Bears have hope next week because Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders might be out.
Right.
And the Saints don't have a good defense.
So
As long as the Bears don't play a team with a good defense, we have a chance.
So let's preview next week real quick before we go. So
Okay.
They have to go against the Saints. All right.
Right.
This is a bad loss. So the team, our Bears team is going to go in differently. They have to. Matt Nagy's going to look. They're going to look at the tape. They're going to have to reevaluate everything, and hopefully they have a better showing. And let's be real. The Bears have these kind of games. After they have a bad game, they'll come out and this is how inconsistent they are. They'll come out and they'll surprise the heck out of us and look like world beaters.
We don't have Brady or Rodgers. I don't know about coming back angry.
I'm just saying they'll look like world beaters.
The defense gonna come back angry, but it's the offense you gotta worry about.
Right. Who's the
they
play
did
caller?
it with the Bucks though. Wait, they did it with the Bucks. The game before that when they lost. And
Yeah, but they made Tom Brady look like a 40-year-old quarterback. They made him look his age.
Exactly.
Right.
So remember, we still have a dominant defense that could change the game. Again, we just need the offense to get us the points we need. That's all we need.
We still struggle.
But the issue is that we can't stop the run game, and they have Kamara.
Yeah. Yep.
That's true.
And
That's
Kamara's a wide receiver / running back over there.
So
true.
before we leave, Duffman goes on and say, but at the same time, it's an eye-opening experience. Green Bay got slaughtered 2 weeks ago, and they opened their eyes and bounced back this past week against the Texans. Sometimes you got to lose to realize you have to pull it together. Who's the play caller?
I think they got to slice the humble pie. Definitely, they need to stop giving.
LaFleur is the play caller, Eric.
No, who's the play caller for the Bears?
Well, it's Matt Nagy.
It's Nagy.
Matt Nagy. Yeah, unless if he's our coach, I don't have faith in the offense whatsoever. So this has been the Jca Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. We'd like to thank everybody who has joined them. Liam, Duffman, Mario, guys, thank you very much.
It's Naeem, dude. You always say my boy's
Naeem,
name.
sorry, Naeem. I'm sorry, bro. I got it for next time, Naeem. I got you, bro. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. You guys listen to our frustration, listen to us vent and go off.
Listen, my kids cry.
Let's just hope for a Bears victory Monday next week when we do this on Monday, guys.
I hope so.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Until next time, go Bears.
Good night.
And guys, let's just hope for a bounce back.
Bloop, bloop.